Practicing in a mirror is great, but this is even better. And the reason why is because you can actually watch yourself after the fact without having to think of two things at the same time. The playing correctly and critiquing your playing. So if you actually like watch a recording of yourself, this goes way better for you because you can put all of your brain power into refining and critiquing, etc. The thumb right here, and if we go straight across, boop, is like, what, half an inch higher? If we look right here as well, you can see this left hand is flatter than over here, the right hand. So again, got to continue to work on that. It's better than it was when I first started this, but this is going to take a lot of practice to like get rid of the technique difference. Like months, if not year or more, of deliberately working on it. Paradiddles, you could sit here and work on just playing paradiddles over and over, and you break it down into larger groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, right, left, instead of thinking right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So as you go faster with this, you're thinking right, left, 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 right, left while you're playing this, or even just right, etc. Ooh, that was bad. Another way that you can do it is instead of like thinking of like the chunking and like making them into one group of like 4 or 6 notes, however many you're doing, is you can actually break down the rudiment itself and isolate some things out. Paradiddle, first half, paradiddle, and then second half. However fast you can do that is the fastest that you're gonna be able to play paradiddles. There are a few more variations of this type of exercise, the float drags, which is named after Tom Float, which signed by Tom Float. And I was at Disneyland and I saw him playing on the trash can. Just like went up afterwards and was talking to him. And he's like, yeah, I used to teach the Blue Devils, and noticed his name tag said Tom. Walked away. I was like, wait a minute. Tom, top Blue Devils? That was Tom Float. So I ran up and I was like, are you Tom Float? And he's like, yeah, I am. I had his sticks in my backpack because, you know, I'm the type of person who would drum in the lines at Disneyland with a practice pad and sticks because, you know, you're just standing there, might as well get better. And so he signed the sticks, and that's what they are up there. Here's some massages that every drummer should do. First, you start massaging with the thumb on top of your forearm and your fingers underneath. So you're working your way up and down the forearm, trying to get everything nice and relaxed. Depending on how you're feeling, you might need to move up into the tricep and bicep area, or maybe even the shoulders, depending on how tight you are. Next massage that I like to do is massage the back of the hand with the fingers, and the thumb is going to massage the palm. And the last massage that I like to do is from the base to the tip of each one of the fingers a couple of times. So you're just kind of massaging your way, working your way up the finger. I highly recommend doing the stretch and massage routine every single time you're playing, even on days off when you are not. But what kind of stretches and massages do you do when you are trying to keep your hands nice and healthy? One of the ways that you can practice if you don't want to be annoying, you can actually practice like this. It will kind of like hurt your forearms, but you can actually like play, like work on your diddles, etc. So you're getting this wrist stroke with your stick like this. If you do traditional, you can do it this way. So you can still get that rotation with your left hand and then still play on here. You can also just play like on your leg. You can play on like a pillow on top of your drum pad or a towel on top of your pad. I will often do that. I'll watch a movie and I'll just put a towel over the tenor pad and then I can just play along. That way I can still hear the movie. My wife doesn't get annoyed. She's also a drummer, so she'll sometimes drum too, etc. So those are some different ways that you can like work on your chop. So when working on these accent taps, going through this slow, we started at 40. The reason for that is because I want to really focus on nice and relaxed technique. So when doing these inverts, when you start low and you go to high, there's a tendency to overforce in that note when you're doing the inverts. So like, that's no good for your hands, especially later on when you're going to try and play it fast. And if you're going to try and get a molar approach or a nice relaxed almost whipping motion, you are not going to squeeze hard with the fingers. So you want to play these nice and loose. Just pull back, let the accent do the work for you by just simply getting the height, and gravity does the rest. So we don't want to force it in by pushing too much energy into it, because that's not how you would play it fast. So when you are practicing stuff slow, use the technique you would use when you're going through this fast. So it's paradiddle accents. Paradiddle, paradiddle. Cheese it. Paradiddle. Oh no, what was that? I'll never drum again. I made a mistake. I mean, I didn't make a mistake. I need somebody on the internet to tell me I made a mistake, because I certainly wouldn't know, even though I have a PhD in this subject area. What do I know? I need some random stranger to comment for me. That sounded bitter, and, well, I am a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the toxic culture that is the music culture that involves comments. You don't need to tear people down. Maybe, just maybe, they're playing to have fun. Like I'm doing on today's stream. As I was refining my technique, I realized that instead of doing a pure downward motion with the wrist, if you add in a slight rotation to it, you go down at an angle, it adds a little bit of rotation, and it gives you a little bit more power, a little bit more speed. Let's say 5%, just kind of an arbitrary number. That 5% like actually does pay off over time in terms of the power, the speed, etc. So my technique that I've used is not just pure straight up and down, but it's got a little bit of this rotation with that up and down motion. So it's not rotary like this. It's not pure up and down like this. It is a combo. So you'll see this part of the wrist go up while this part of the wrist goes down. Okay? Weird, I know. And the nice thing is, if you don't like it, you can use a different technique. I've been taught a lot more than this. This is the thing about like being in a school of music, is it can be very anxiety inducing, because there's so many people who are just phenomenal at what they do, like the professors in particular. You look at it and go, okay, this thing, like the sight reading or whatever, like I am nowhere near that. You always have this feeling of, I need to go practice. Even if like you're able to outperform them in like one area, you look at them in the other areas and you kind of ignore that stuff that you are really good at, and you look at this other stuff that you're not good at. It can create imposter syndrome. A lot of undergrads in particular feel that way. There's a huge burnout in schools of music. My first theory class I ever took my freshman year, professor had us just all sitting in the auditorium, and he's like, take a look around at everyone around you, people sitting next to you. And he's like, only a quarter of you will be here 2 years from now. And we're like, what? And he was right. So many people quit. It's rough, man. Let's try it.